do. You don't know whether to believe this or not.
What happened? I said, you got struck by lightning. And I...
Well, this is the start of Memorial Day weekend, and we decided to get the convertible out. It's the first ride of the season, isn't it, honey?
Yeah, it's a tough ride. I think we'll endure it. I hope there's some parking there.
Didn't look too bad. Maybe we can get in pretty quick.
Just gonna go right ahead.
Rainy, cold, dreary day today. This is Memorial Day weekend. And yesterday wasn't bad. It was actually a really nice day to work outside. It was a little chilly in the 60s and the wind was blowing, but it felt good to work outside. So we got the yard all mowed and Joe trimmed and did some other things outside, and I cleaned house for the rest of the afternoon. So we got a lot of work done yesterday. And today it's raining all day. Tomorrow is actually Memorial Day. And I think they're calling for a 50% chance of rain. And I have a big family cookout planned for tomorrow. So I'm hoping it won't be a total washout, but maybe we can get out underneath the lower carport and grill our burgers and hot dogs and have some good family time. So we'll have about 15 people here tomorrow. So this afternoon, I'm going to make my sister-in-law's macaroni salad to have for our cookout tomorrow. When Wanda first brought this macaroni salad to a family gathering, we all loved it and said, that's what we want you to bring for every outing that we have. So we called it WANDA'S macaroni salad. So I'm going to make that this afternoon and show you how to make it. It's really a simple recipe, but it really is tasty. And it's best if you make it the day before so all the flavors can meld together and and chill really good. You want it really good and chilled. So I'm going to move you over to the kitchen and show you how I make that. And I hope all of y'all, by the time you see this video, Memorial Day will be over with. But I hope you all find time to say a prayer for those serving in our military who are active duty right now, those who have served and are out, and be sure to thank them for their service. And most of all, remember those who gave their all for our freedoms. And our freedoms are at stake even more today than they ever have been. And we need to remember those who gave their lives. And many of you have family members who died. And the one that I remember in my lifetime was my Uncle Don. He was killed in the Vietnam War. And it was really hard on our family then. Finishing off my cup of homemade cappuccino before I get started on the macaroni salad. It's a little chilly down here in the basement. This is my canning kitchen that I do all of my canning from the garden in. And this is where we have all of our family gatherings when we have family over for cookouts and so forth. So for the macaroni salad, what you will need is 8 ounces of elbow macaroni. You will need a 4-ounce jar of pimentos. You will need 1 green bell pepper, 1 cucumber, 3 boiled eggs, and a jar of Marzetti's coleslaw dressing. You won't use the whole bottle, but you will use most of it. So I will get busy chopping and dicing up the peppers and the cucumbers and the eggs, and then I'll show you how we put it all together. Okay, I had the macaroni all cooked, and I let it boil for 7 minutes, and I've drained it. I got the bell pepper diced, cucumber diced, 3 boiled eggs diced, and a 4-ounce jar of pimentos drained. So I'm going to add all of this in with the macaroni. Okay. And I'm going to give it a stir to mix this stuff together. And then I'm going to add the Marzetti's coleslaw dressing. My trash there. Okay, I'm not going to add the whole jar to begin with. You don't want it swimming in dressing, but you want enough to where it's not dry. And it will soak up some of the dressing overnight as it sits in the refrigerator. So I'm going to add about 3/4 of this jar to start with. And if I need more tomorrow, I'll add it then. That'll be good for now. This dressing is so good, and it makes it so quick and easy to stir up the salad. Okay, that is stirred up. I'll show you what it looks like. It's such a colorful salad, and it will be delicious. So like I said, it looks a little wet right now, but once it sits in the refrigerator, it will soak some of that dressing up, and you may have to add some more the next day. But for right now, that's all I'm doing. So this is my sister-in-law's recipe, Wanda. We call it WANDA'S macaroni salad. And Wanda left us about 1.5 years ago now from cancer. She fought a good fight, but the Lord saw to take her home. And we miss her, but we have her macaroni salad to remember her by. And we do still remember her and think loving memories of her. So hope all of y'all had a Memorial Day that you could remember and love on each other, hug each other, tell each other you love them, because we don't know what tomorrow may bring. I just finished washing this pot that I'm going to put the macaroni salad in to store in the refrigerator. And this is a pot that my mother loved. When they came out with these, I think she bought all of us some of these pieces. She loved them because you can cook in them, you can bake in them, cook on the stovetop, store your food in them, take them to potlucks, and it looks pretty. It's a pretty piece. So that is what, didn't get that dried out good. I'm going to put this macaroni in, and it will be pretty served in this bowl. Some right there. I'll get up. The countertop is clean. And there we have it. And in the fridge we go, and it will be ready for tomorrow's cookout.
my grandmother's house in Cobra Mountain. And there's a Charlie Pack's store was down below the house there. And we were all got on the bicycle and we were all heading down there to the store to get us ice cream or a Pepsi or something. And there was a little hill, just topped that hill, and there was trees on both sides. And the lightning hit one of those trees and come off that tree and hit my bicycle and burnt a fork into. And the next thing I knew, I was laying on the ground, and there was Don and Buzz and Daryl Laney, and they said, Dad, are you alive? I said, yeah. What happened? They said, you got struck by lightning. And I looked at my bicycle, my front wheel was laying over here, and my frame was laying over here.
Oh, no.
And
Good grief. That's close. That's a close call.
and, I had this metal taste in my mouth, And then my hair turned white.
Oh, it did.
And we sitting out there, and Buzz said, Ted, did you ever tell your daughters about you getting hit by lightning? And their eyes got big. Said, we thought that was a lie.
When it wasn't.
And I run into Daryl Laney at school. We have an all year reunion about every year. And so everybody that ever went to J.J. Kelly High comes to those reunions. So I have a pretty good gathering. And he come up to me and said, did you ever tell anybody about he getting hit by lightning? He said, I can still see that. He said there was just a big bright ball, and then you was laying on the ground. He said, I thought you was dead.
Well, it had to be a close call.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
it was.
He said,
We went out to it was one of my birthdays. I think it was my 21st birthday. It was not.
Well, Skechers,
Well,
they don't have, they just got
She was there. Everybody went to this restaurant, this nice restaurant in downtown Kingsport. And Granny ordered pasta. She wanted spaghetti, and she wanted marinara sauce. But
Yeah, you need your protection.
she couldn't read the menu. Was it that?
She just couldn't pronounce
She couldn't
it.
pronounce it.
Marinara.
She said marijuana
Possible
sauce.
track and catch, right?
Yeah.
I
I don't even think she realized what she said. And then the waiter cracked up, and then
He fell
when
to
they
his
brought
knees
her
practically
dish out,
laughing.
He came out with her spaghetti, and the chef came out with a big black baggie full of oregano.
I've got
He
it
gave it to her.
So he had my
At least they had fun with it.
Yeah, it was fun.
So we got it out. He said, you go ahead and try it. He said, oh, you want it up yet? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, it's always something.
You remember Teddy had a 68 GTO Firebird 400? 4-speed in the floor?
Yeah, Joe remembers that one well.
Yeah, well, see, Teddy, I found out years later, Teddy was going to give me that car. And one of them wouldn't let him because she was afraid that I would get killed in it. That was the end of the story.
Little girls do it really
You
well.
two, you don't know whether to believe this or not.
Well, the girls they were about 10, 11 plus. And me and Johnny was their coach, wasn't we?
Yeah.
And we was playing we went to Bloomingdale up there and had that red clay dirt. And Andrew was the catcher. And so we finished up the game, and I'm not sure we won or lost, it didn't matter.
We
But
probably
anyway.
lost.
Probably.
But we were going home, and Andrea had those knee pins on, and she had her gloves, and she laid them things down the back seat, and she got those knee pads off, and she was beating them, like this. And we were going down the road, and all of a sudden Wanda says, "We're on fire!"
Because of the dust and smoke coming off the
So I pulled off, and got out, you know, and I couldn't see any fire. And it was the dust off of, it was the red dust off of the knee pad.
Oh my.
I don't know how funny it is. It's a memory. Me and a friend of mine had, I guess we were in high school, and we went and cleared Granny's bank of weeds. Which took several days pulling by hand. And I think one of the days I was complaining something about how we got sausage biscuit from Hardee's, and it was like making me feel kind of sick or nauseous. And so the next day when we got there, she invited us into the house, and she cooked like an entire table full of breakfast for me and this one guy. It was bacon and eggs and sausage and biscuits and everything. It was just this giant feast just for me and him. She just sat there and watched us eat.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Oh, she didn't fry any pies, did she?
No, not that
She
time.
did that for me, but
All right, John Ray, you got one?
I got one on Bob.
Okay.
well, Bob's not dead yet.
No, but
Well,
it's
we-
Just in case he is.
Anyway, Dad had just remodeled the kitchen, and they had a big pile of dirt outside where they had dug out and laid block. And he told Bob that he wanted him to move that pile of dirt down off, from where it was over the bank, behind the house. And so it sat there for, I don't know how long it sat there, but it never did get moved. And then the day that Bob was supposed to go to the beach, he and some other boy was going to drive. And, so Bob came in and was saying he was leaving, and Dad said, no, he can't go. And Bob, I don't know what all you said, wondered why, and I guess stomped around or something. But Dad told him, said, I told you a week or two ago to move that pile of dirt, and it's still sitting out there. So I think you boys, didn't you all get out there and move that pile of dirt, wheelbarrow it down under? So that's just how Dad was. He didn't make a big deal out of it.
Well, my mom was a great driver. Sometimes. Anyways, I was at home, and she called and told me that she had run her car over a curb, and could I come and pull her, get her out of that?
No, don't put that on.
Get her out of that. So I was thinking she probably got the A-frame or something up on the curb and couldn't get the power. So I got my jack and some a couple of 2 by 6s or something like that, threw them in the truck and went down there. And I also threw a chain in. And so when I got down there, she was in across from DB there. It was actually for handicapped kids, and she wasn't on a curb. She was on the steps. She had driven what she thought was the roadway, was actually the sidewalk going down the steps. And when I got there, the car, the front was was sitting on the concrete, but the wheels were off the ground. The front wheel was off the ground, and the back wheels were on the back.
The teacher in that classroom where she was headed toward had all the kids evacuate the schoolroom, and they were all out in the schoolyard with a clown was there visiting their classroom. So here's a clown and all the kids out in the yard, and Mom's sitting on the steps and couldn't get her car off, and Teddy comes.
So I could go around to the car and I could push down, and the back would
Like a seesaw.
and I could push it back up, and the back tires would come back dark out.
Well, and Mom got so nervous she left the scene, didn't she?
She took off.
She took off walking.
There was a doctor that had an office up the street there,
yeah.
and so
She
she
knew.
went to she had so much faith in him, she thought he could do wonders. You know, she went to get him to come down there to help me to get that car off that thing. And
And when she came back with the doctor, the police was there and jumped all over her for leaving the scene of the accident. But Teddy, go on, and he was examining how he can get Mom's car off those steps.
So I got my jack out there, as a floor jack, put one of the pieces of wood under it, jacked the front of the car up, put the wood under it, back the back jack down in that clown. I asked him if he could drive, and he said he could, and so I went back in my truck and got my chain hooked to the back of her car, and the police. By this time, the police had come, and the fire trucks, and they had all that blocked off, and so I.
Gosh.
The
clown was mimicking everything you did.
Yeah.
You look under the car and he go look under the car.
Oh my goodness.
That's why I asked him if he could drive. And so I backed the truck up, pulled the car back a little bit, and he just back put it in reverse and backed right on off there, you know. But they gave her a ticket. The police gave her a ticket for improper driving.